Meet our protagonist, a woman who had been battling an eating disorder for 30 years. For her, food was not a source of nourishment or joy, but a battleground fraught with guilt, fear, and self-loathing. Each meal was a struggle, a tug-of-war between the need to eat and the compulsion to purge. It was a cycle of self-destruction that consumed her every waking moment. She lived with a constant gnawing fear that her disorder would ultimately lead to her demise. And this fear was not unfounded. The strain of her eating disorder on her body was immense. It weakened her bones, drained her energy, and left her feeling fragile and vulnerable. It was a silent, invisible tormentor that left physical and emotional scars. Over the years, she tried countless times to break free from the clutches of her eating disorder. She sought help from therapists, participated in support groups, and tried various diets in hopes of finding a way out. But each attempt ended in relapse, and with each relapse, her sense of hope dwindled. The vicious cycle seemed unbreakable, the struggle insurmountable. The disorder didn't only impact her health, but it also affected her relationships and her ability to enjoy life. She had to keep her struggle a secret, hiding it from her husband and children. The burden of this secret added to her feelings of isolation and shame. But amidst the despair, there was a glimmer of hope. A turning point that came in an unexpected form. One day while roller skating with her kids, she fell and broke her wrist. It was a painful and frightening experience, but it also served as a wake-up call. She knew that her frail bones were a direct result of her eating disorder, and she feared that her wrist would never heal unless she made a significant change in her life. Everything changed when she broke her wrist while roller skating with her kids. A broken wrist might not sound like a life-changing event, but for our protagonist, it represented a turning point. A sudden, sharp pain and the unmistakable sound of a snap marked the end of a typical family roller skating outing. But it was more than just a physical injury, it was a profound wake-up call. She realized that her body was crying out for help. Her wrist wouldn't heal unless she made a significant change. For years, she'd been battling an eating disorder, a silent fight that had taken a toll on her body. She knew that her bones, weakened by years of malnutrition, needed more than just time to heal. They needed proper nourishment. Yoga had become a lifeline for her, a refuge from the turmoil of her eating disorder. She had been going to yoga almost every day for a year, finding strength and solace on the mat. But now, with a broken wrist, even this sanctuary was threatened. The fear of losing her lifeline, her yoga, spurred her into action. She had to find a way to nourish her body, to give it the strength it needed to heal. The answer came in the form of a choice she'd been considering but had always put off: going vegan. She had seen the health benefits of a vegan diet in others. She knew vegans who were not only healthy, but also vibrant, energetic, and most importantly, happy with their food choices. Their plates were filled with a rainbow of fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes, not the lifeless gray remains of animals. And so, despite her family being meat eaters, she made the decision. She was going to go vegan. She was going to give her body the nutrients it needed to heal. She was going to stop the cycle of binging and purging. She was going to reclaim her life for her and for her yoga. With a newfound resolve, she decided to go vegan, despite her family being meat eaters. In this turning point, she found a glimmer of hope. She was ready to embark on a journey towards healing, towards a healthier and happier self. The journey towards veganism wasn't easy, but our protagonist was determined. The first few days were a whirlwind of change and adjustment. Swapping out her usual meals for plant-based alternatives was a challenge, but she was resolved to make it work. She began to explore a variety of vegetables, grains, and legumes, uncovering a new world of flavors and textures. The shift was not just about removing meat from her plate, it was about learning to appreciate food in its purest form, understanding the nourishment it brought to her body. It was about breaking free from the cycle of binging and purging that had held her captive for so long. The initial days were tough. She had to fight the urge to revert to her old habits, the comfort of the known. But she had a compelling motivation: the rapid healing of her broken wrist. It was a tangible goal, a visible proof of progress. And so, she pressed on. As she continued her vegan journey, something unexpected happened. She noticed a significant reduction in her binging and purging. The urge to overeat and then purge seemed to diminish as she filled her body with wholesome plant-based foods. She had tried countless times to break free from this destructive cycle, but it was the shift to veganism that finally made a difference. She began to experience food in a new way. It was no longer about guilt or punishment, but about nourishment, healing, and pleasure. The flavors of fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains became a source of joy, not fear. Her relationship with food transformed. It was no longer her enemy but her ally, a source of strength and healing. She found that going vegan did not mean a life of boring meals. On the contrary, she discovered a vibrant world of flavors and textures that she had never experienced before. She discovered that going vegan was not just about the food she ate, but about a complete transformation of her relationship with food. It was a journey of self-discovery, healing, and above all, hope. The decision to share her secret with her husband was another crucial step in her journey. It was a step that unveiled the power of accountability. Having someone else in her corner, someone who knew her struggle, was a game changer in her fight against her eating disorder. Accountability, you see, isn't just about having someone to report to. It's about having someone who understands your journey, who can offer support when the going gets tough, and who can celebrate with you when you make progress. It's about not having to walk the path alone. In her case, her husband became her rock. He didn't just passively stand by, he actively participated in her healing journey. He helped her stay on track with her vegan diet. He cooked with her, learned about the nutritional benefits of different plant-based foods, and even tried some of them himself. Together, they discovered that vegan food didn't have to be boring. It could be colorful, flavorful, and incredibly satisfying. But perhaps more importantly, her husband was there for her during her occasional slip-ups. And yes, there were slip-ups. Recovery from an eating disorder isn't a straight path. It's a journey that involves hills and valleys, twists and turns. It's a journey that requires patience and resilience. When she stumbled, her husband didn't chastise her. Instead, he reminded her of how far she had come. He reminded her of her strength and determination. He reminded her of her goal not just to heal her wrist, but to heal her relationship with food. His unwavering support and understanding helped her get back on track. His presence reminded her that she was not alone in her fight. His encouragement gave her the strength to keep going, to keep choosing recovery, to keep choosing health. Indeed, her journey to recovery was not solitary. It was shared with those who cared about her. It was a journey that was made possible not just by her own determination, but also by the love and support of her husband. And that, folks, is the power of accountability. Her journey to recovery was not solitary, but shared with those who cared about her. The decision to go vegan did more than just heal our protagonist's wrist. It opened up a world of benefits that she hadn't fully anticipated. Let's delve into those. The first and most immediate benefit was an improvement in overall health. By embracing a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and plant-based proteins, she was nourishing her body with a wide array of essential nutrients. This not only expedited the healing of her wrist, but also increased her energy levels, boosted her immune system, and improved her skin complexion. But the benefits extended beyond just physical health. The vegan diet also proved instrumental in weight management. By focusing on nutrient-dense foods and eliminating processed and fast foods, she was able to maintain a healthy weight without falling into the trap of overeating or binging. The environmental impact of going vegan was another eye-opening realization. When she learned that a plant-based diet requires less water, less land, and produces fewer greenhouse gases compared to a meat-based diet, she felt an increased sense of responsibility towards the planet. This was another motivating factor, a bonus benefit that made her feel good about her choices. But perhaps the most transformative benefit of going vegan for our protagonist was the significant improvement in her eating disorder. The structure and discipline of a plant-based diet provided an unexpected path to recovery. It helped her to redefine her relationship with food, turning it from a source of anxiety into a source of nourishment and healing. She learned to appreciate the taste, texture, and nutritional value of a variety of plant-based foods. She discovered that vegan meals could be just as delicious, satisfying, and diverse as any other diet. This newfound appreciation for food helped to reduce the urge to binge and purge, providing a sense of control she hadn't felt in years. By sharing her journey, she hopes to inspire others who may be struggling with similar issues. She found that being vegan not only offered a variety of health benefits, but also became an unexpected path to recovery from her eating disorder. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about healing through veganism, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content. Your support helps us create more informative and inspiring content. Thank you.